Yo guys, what is happening with my Total Games, and welcome to another episode of the Minecraft Let's Build Cities series. So today we're looking at how to build a vintage office building. This building's pretty cool, featuring 6 block high floors and a cool spruce interior ceiling. Without any further ado, I think we should just jump right into how to build it. Alright guys, so jumping into this build, it's going to be pretty straightforward. We're going to be using bricks, and then we're also going to be using stone brick stairs and some spruce wood. The layout on this will be pretty simple. This is going to be a relatively small build, but you can feel free to make it however big you want in your own world. But we're going to be using these 3 wide sections like so, and these will just be very small office units on the inside here. They'd be more something that you see in a building that would maybe sub out each individual little office for little businesses and whatnot. So that's kind of what we're going for here. And then they're all going to be 5 wide on this side. In fact, will that just be a 5 by 5 then? No, okay, good. It'll be a 6 by 5, which is exactly what we want here. There's 4, there's 5, and I just got to clear up a little bit more room here so we can actually get this clone going. So again, in continuing with the 3 wide sections, we're going to go along on this side and do the exact same thing. Now the overall goal here is to stick with a very rustic look for the building. That's why we're using the spruce logs on the inside. And yeah, so we want to be going with some pretty high windows, I think, because that's going to help add a little bit more detail, give us a little bit more room to do some detail for sure. And maybe allow us to have some ceiling height to put in these spruce logs in. I've also got a pretty cool way that I want to clone this today. I'm going to show you that as well, so we can actually get these spruce logs on the ceiling as part of the detail. Anyway, we're just going to follow along here, go along all the bottoms of the windows, and add these stone brick designs. Not like that. We're actually going to go straight like so. And this is going to add a little bit of depth into the actual windows. So that's going to do that. We're going to go on the inside now and grab some spruce planks and go along here and use the fill command to fill all those in. Just like so, the spruce planks have been added, and we're going to be trying to go for, I believe, a 5 tall wall. So that's at 5 right there, or no, is that 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 technically, but 5 if we're just counting the arches here. So that's actually the wall height that we're going to be going for. So let's go along now and add that to every single one here and make these windows kind of into arches, which is definitely going to help with the old look. Now, if you want to double back the walls, something that's always cool when you're building arches like this, I'm going to give you a quick little tip here. Is when we're going to use the bricks, and let's find the brick slabs to the half slabs. You guys see those? There we are. So a cool thing that you can do here is if you want, you can build kind of arches using these slabs and stairs. Gets a little bit more rounded. I don't think we're doing the best job here at demonstrating that, but even something like that, right? Nice little arch. And then what you can do is actually inset the window here by 1 block. We got some stained glass. Whoa. And then you can actually go along here and put the glass on this level, cover up all this, of course. And then you can build some interior walls. That does mean that you have to make your walls 2 blocks thick. You can do that on this build if you wanted to, but I'm not going to in our case. Also does help with a little bit of depth there too. So quick little tip there. Always a fun way to build. I have done it before in certain buildings, but it does take a little bit more planning out. And I don't know. I just feel like it's a little bit of a waste of space sometimes. So I'm just going to go along with the regular arches like so. And that'll get us by on this build. I'm probably also only going to make this build 3 blocks tall, or 3 stories tall, I should say, not 3 blocks tall. That'd be weird. Just because some of these older buildings back in the day didn't really have a lot of height to them, as they didn't have elevators and whatnot. So we are going to be trying to stick with a relatively low design. This could also be like a restored building. It's kind of what I'm going for, like a restored factory that was turned into some offices. It's nice to build some older style buildings though in your cities. This is a very modern city that we've been working on here. And a lot of the builds we're doing are supposed to look relatively new. So to have a couple older buildings in the city kind of help add a little bit of character, and is definitely a cool thing to have. Okay, go along now and finish up all the arches for each one of these window sections. Shouldn't take too long. This definitely takes a little bit longer than if you were just to do a regular building. However, it adds so much more depth here in detail. And I think I really like building these old style buildings because of that. And yeah, I mean, it's always interesting because on the modern buildings, I know sometimes they look a little plain, but that is technically what I'm going for. I'm trying to make them look plain and bland sometimes, just because that's how a lot of the modern buildings look these days. And I feel like that actually ties them in more. When you start to add a lot of different lines and details on modern buildings, sometimes I find they can look a little bit strange because you don't really see that in real life. So on these old buildings, though, you can really go ahead here and add as much detail as you would like. And I'm doing a lack of it here in this case, but I'm hoping that we can still get a really cool old building vibe out of this. And I'm going to do a couple other cool detail features on this building as we go that will hopefully bring that out in this building. But yeah, sometimes building these older styles can really help even like get you better at doing details on big buildings like such. And I don't know, I just really enjoy it. By the way, did I mention the next step yet? You're going to go along here and fill in all the windows, which is your choice of glass. In my case, I'm going to be using the black stained glass because I feel like that's the most appropriate. If you were to restore an old building, they're generally using what looks to be black glass, and that might not always be the case, but in the ones I've seen, it looks to be pretty much black glass, and or just clear glass, I guess, is usually the other thing that people use, just regular colored glass in the real world. But in this case, we're going to be using the black glass. Here's where it gets fun, guys. We're going to do a quick little layout here, and I'm just going to show you what I would do if I was designing this building. I'd go along here and add offices this size going the entire way down. I'd also leave probably a space about this big for the stairwell, and in which case I put, stairs going up here, and then the next level the stairs would start right here and go up here, and then you walk around, go up here. It gives us too wide for or two sections of 3 blocks wide for the stairs, so you can have these 3 wide stairs, 1 block divider in between as like a wall, just going along like so or whatever, and then when you get to the top you can just switch it over here and then go up the next steps. So that's kind of what I would leave open for the stairwell. Obviously we're not doing interiors on this little series, but that is what I kind of do. And I do like to lay out the interior sometimes because I feel like I've really designed the building for a certain interior, and this is the interior that I've designed this one for. You could probably have your entrance on the main level in maybe the center unit, but for the rest of them that would be an actual office. On the inside here, you can even do some cool like gray walls if you really want to get fancy and add some detail, because a lot of these restored buildings have like a gray wall with even some glass in it and whatnot, and then like a little entrance into the actual build itself. So there's some really cool stuff that you could do with the interior walls as well. I really like using these gray or cyan terracotta or like a gray concrete. Those all look very good on these kind of brick old buildings. So that's kind of the design that I would use in terms of a floor plan. I'm also going to do a really cool little ceiling design here real quick, in which case we're going to go down each one of these sections like so with some large beams. And I'll show you what this looks like at the end. It's going to help it look really cool. This one technically will have a wall, but I suppose we can still do it. Doesn't really matter too much. Actually, no, we're not going to do it there because there's a wall there, right? So we're not going to be seeing it at all. I'm going to put it in the middle here instead. And then I'm going to go along and put one more in the same location I have it on the other side. So in between these 3 wide sections, that's going to give us 3 really nice beams going across here. And now what I'm going to do this way is I'm going to go in the middle of each one of these office sections. This is going to give us some detail in each one of the offices, which is why I chose to go in the middle versus going in between these windows. So then following that pattern, we're going to go right across with these beams as well and go right in through the entire building. This one's going to follow in the middle and then one more there at the end, and that's going to consist of our roof pattern. Now inside of here, I would usually frame out like 1 block piece of glowstone, like maybe that would be a piece of glowstone there. Maybe you put another one right there. Obviously that's not actually going to work because the wall goes there. Maybe you put one right here though, and then right here. I don't know. You kind of got to figure it out based on what you're doing. But then the wall goes up the middle. That'll make a nice little 3x3 area right there. Let's say the wall's right there. So that'll make a nice little 3x3 in this office and a 3x3 in that office with a piece of glowstone in the middle. So kind of frame it out like that and then leave the rest of it open. Now we're going to go along here and actually clone this thing up after adding some torches. Can't forget that. And we'll see how it looks. Yeah, and again, on a building like this, I would totally stick with like strictly a gray interior for all of my interior walls and everything, or cyan terracotta, something along those lines. It's just going to make it pop and look awesome. Lots of glass as well. You cannot forget lots of glass on a building like this. It's going to look great. Okay, so we grab that corner. We're going to go all the way over here. We're going to grab this corner right here. We're going to have a double wide section where the ceiling ends. That's going to be totally fine. Oh, we got to go over here to clone this. And I'll show you what I mean right now. If we've placed it right here, we're going to have these 2 wide sections, but it looks okay here because we are using larger scale windows. That's because we wanted to do this wood thing, that we did have to leave a little bit extra room. This next one's going to go just 1 more story up, and that's going to actually conclude the entire height of this building. It looks a little bit weird right now. We're going to fix that in a second. It also looks a little bit out of scale, you could say, but I think we're going to leave it at that. It doesn't look too bad, actually. It looks pretty good. Question is, can I get this road around it, or do I have to move it? I might have to move it in a bit, but that's not going to be our concern today. Next step, what we're going to do here is we're actually going to come out 1 block with the bricks, I think. Maybe. That might not look too bad. I'm trying to think here. Yeah, I think I will come out 1 block with the bricks, and I'll add a cool little design there and a couple other ones throughout the building. So starting here on the top, we're going to get a little bit of detail going with these stone brick stairs. I'm just going to go along here and place them on every other block starting at the end and do that on all 4 sides. I've also extended the ceiling block out by 1, which helps add a little bit more depth. I've never actually done this kind of style roof on one of these buildings, so I hope it turns out to look pretty good. Your options here on the inner blocks, which we're going to add in a second, are going to be half slabs on the upper level connecting to the stairs. And you can either use these stone bricks stairs or slabs, sorry, or you can go ahead and just use regular stone or smooth stone slabs. You can quite honestly use any of them and see how they look. So we're going to try them both here. So we can go along and do that. That looks a little bit boring. So I think what we're going to do is just add a little bit of depth and texture by adding these. And I'm quite happy with that look. And there we go. That helps to add quite a cool retro, vintagey kind of look to the build. I really like how that's looking. The one block overhang with the brick probably isn't necessary, but I added that just to get a little bit more depth. Probably isn't something realistic that you would actually see on one of these buildings anyway. That's gonna do for that. Now for these ones, I want to add some sort of thing that goes around, just maybe just like so. I don't know if we put it on the upper of that level or the lower of that. I think we put it on the upper of the other one, right? Am I right to do that? Or yeah, I think so. Okay, so on the upper level, as to where your glass was placed, just go along here and add a stone brick line. That does kind of cut off the top of the glass, but it leaves us enough room to look like we have a windowsill over here. So we're going to go along here and add a line like so, and then a line on one level down from this. And by one level down, I mean one story down, top of the glass level right here. And that's going to help add some more depth to this building as well. And overall, that's starting to look pretty good. That's kind of the basics to it. Again, I'm not a professional or anything about building these kind of buildings. And I don't have a lot of experience doing it, but that I think looks pretty good. It definitely gets the job done for one of these things. The cool thing is the inside, though. I can't wait to show you guys what these beams really do on the inside here, especially with the spruce ceiling. You can't tell me that doesn't look awesome. Because once you start to get some units in here, and let's say this was your little office and you had these cool gray walls in the front, maybe just like so. Let's see here. How would I lay this out? I'd probably lay it out with like a door there and like a window here or something. And then maybe just go up to there. Maybe even just go up to this height and then leave the rest of it open. Something like that. I have no idea. You might want to even continue this up here. Or I don't know what you want to do. But that kind of looks okay. I don't know. You might want to just leave this open. Some of them are just left open or whatever. Anyway, you might want to put some glass in here. We've got some stained glass right here that could probably fit in nicely. And then you'd also go along here and probably want a little door. And that's like an entrance to a unit. And then sure enough, when you get into your actual unit, door's got to be on that side. Jeez, it drives me nuts. There we go. Then you have these really cool little wood patterns and whatnot. So really cool little design there. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And again, I'm not like the best at building these style buildings, but I think we did a pretty good job on this one. We definitely pulled it off and we kind of got what we were going for. And I really do like the roof here. I feel like that adds a lot of detail as well. So there you go. Anyway, I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to go below, leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys all in the next video.